Hi everyone.
What's up, y'all? How's it, guys?
Hola, Wafit.
Hi, guys.
Hello, hi.
Sanbona, guys.
Welcome.
Welcome to the Power Space.
Welcome to the pause.
Welcome to the Power Space.
Hi everyone.
Welcome to the Power Space.
Hi everyone, my name is Bundle and best discover my name. I am the bundle of all the jazz. But if you ask for my ID, my name is Untatile Sepeng. Welcome to Power Space Podcast. Hope you guys are good. Hope you guys are fine. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, and yourself?
Oh, great. So please introduce yourself and say what you do.
Okay, Kiputeri. I'm the General Secretary of Ga-Rankuwa YMCA. Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. So, to my discovery, YMCA, it was a men's thing. Young men Christian organization. If I'm wrong, please correct me. And then now it's more about youth. So please explain the change.
Okay, initially, YMCA, yes, it was focusing on men. But now as time goes on, the men part now, it's not about gender but human nature. So YMCA, it's Young Men's Christian Association. So we are focusing on young people. So the whole vision and aim is to empower young people to life leadership and skills. So we are inclusive. That's why I'm saying at first it was focusing on men, because we also have YWCA, which is Young Women Christian Association. So they focusing on women. But now with us, we said no, we can't only focus on men. Let's also be inclusive.
That's nice. So it's more of human, and oh, that's nice. So we are celebrating Human Rights Month, and that's more of it. And then we have different human rights which are violated and very not so. So how do you think the implementation of respecting human rights from different spaces, especially the space that you work in, is implemented?
We have encountered so many complaints from young people. For example, access to health services. Young people are complaining that they are not treated okay. Their rights are being violated. So as YMCA, we are here to advocate for young people, so that they do have access to their rights. Each and every young person have a right to receive access to health services, to receive anything within the government, our country. We all have rights. So, but the only issue now with young people is that we have our rights, we know how to exercise the rights, but not responsibilities. That's where the problem is. So one of the things that we are doing at YMCA is that we sensitize, our stakeholders on issues of human rights. And then we also sensitize our young people at schools to know their rights and also know their responsibilities, because I think that's where they lack.
Oh, okay. So how do we educate the young ones on how to properly initiate and instigate their rights without them unawarely violating their own rights, but asking for them to be respected?
When I was still in school, 20 years ago.
Yo, are you that old?
When I was still in school, primary school, at school they used to teach us our rights as well as our responsibilities. So what we do here in YMCA is that we go to schools, we teach those young people their rights and also their responsibilities. Make sure that we emphasize on those responsibilities, so that young people know Uguti. If myself, if I'm asking, I want to exercise my right, but we overdo it. Young people overdo it, so they would go and want to exercise their rights and forgetting their responsibilities. I have a right to make mistakes, but my responsibility is to learn from my mistakes. So that's what they forget. So at school, Tina, we used to emphasize more on responsibilities more than rights. That's why when you look at the 90s generation, the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s generation, that different from the 20s,
Yeah,
because we understand our because we know our responsibilities, and also our rights. So we always encourage young people that yes, you have your rights, you have rights, but also think about those responsibilities, because in every right you must also be accountable and responsible.
That's nice. So my favorite human right is right of expressing myself because but I'm very shy also. So being able to express myself is one of the greatest things because I have been an introvert for the longest time in my life to a point where my parents decided to take me for online schooling in high school and I stopped socializing and I started developing social anxiety, which I'm still dealing with now. And I think having the right of expressing myself and the right of speech is one of the greatest things that we have. So, if you could share what is your favorite right and how do you enjoy it? How does it become your favorite?
Um, I've mentioned it, to make a mistake. And responsibility to learn from my mistake, because sometimes we fear making mistakes. And now you look at people, so bazothini remember, these people are looking at me, but I'm also human. And also my responsibility, learning from my mistake, it actually tells me that I won't go back to that mistake that I've did. The mistake that I've done, I can't go back, because now I became a responsible citizen. I've learned from that mistake.
Okay, so also in the theme of human rights, we have Women's Day that is coming up. Oh, it's ifitile ne? Women's Day. Women's Day.
International International Women's Day.
Yeah. So we have Women's Day. So how do we infuse the two to become one, and also saying because we are now in a theme of yes, there's GBV, but then there's also women because GBV used to make people think it's about a male who is beating up a female or a male who is abusing a female, but now we have find out there are females who actually do abuse these males. So how we as women can we fix those kind of issues and not while we are fixing the problems of the males respecting our human rights and not also violate their rights.
They're right. I think it's addressing social norms. The society already says men are the ones who are abusive because of the masculinity in them. But we also have women that are masculine, and they also abuse males. Now, the issue is that now the reason why such issues are not reported with males, because immediately when a male person goes to the police station and reports an issue, they laugh at that person. So it's difficult for them to go there. But with me, I say men should speak up, because we need to attend to these matters. But GBV is not only for women. Also, as you said, males are also being affected financially. Financial abuse, emotionally. We are abusing our male people. Hence, now they end up committing suicide. If you look at the suicidal rate, there's the highest. It's males than women. So it becomes now, that's where you see that now these males are being abused, not physically, but emotionally. They've been abused financially, and with us women, we do not understand that. Then what do we say? I think our last year theme was focusing on males, that they should speak up. During our 16 days of activism, we're saying a young man, a young woman, a young man, you need to start speaking up. Young men do cry, let's address those social norms that they would say, indoda ikhali, indoda ikhali. And also the issue, indoda must. We need to start addressing that and find, making sure that our women nabo, they don't use their beauty and all that to abuse males. So those are the things that we are addressing.
Okay, that's beautiful. I think please share your last 2 cents on the conversation that we had and tell us more about YMCA as we are going to interview people who are under you. But we just wanted to have an overview of what is YMCA and what do you guys cover before we go to the branches of this tree.
Okay. With YMCA, there, as mentioned, our whole vision is to empower young people to life, leadership, and skills. But how do we do it? Is through our programs that we offer. We have signature programs, and these programs were developed and also evaluated by young people. So we want to reach out to young people. What is it that young people want? And then we said young people want art. Hence we called it Y Art, youth art. So yes, so young people, they love art. So we've addressed that issue. We're saying, what is it that young people want again? Y zone, where it's more of academic, not because not everyone is into art, is artistic.
Yes.
So we're saying, okay, young people, they also want to further their studies. They want to be intellects. So we're also offering that. We have the Y health. We have issues. Young people are facing health issues. When you look at the statistics, Tshwane, only Tshwane, region 1, Tshwane has the highest rate of young people that are HIV infected.
Yo.
And that it's from the thing Mavuso.
Yo.
If you still remember
Yeah.
Mavuso. Yeah, so it's more. And having that large number of young people being HIV between ages 15 to 24, just imagine. They have the highest rate. 15.
Yo.
15 to 24.
That's wild.
So now we are addressing that. Young people should know their status. Young people should take care of themselves. We preach. I know, Guti. At first we used to preach or abstinence even at schools, but we still preach it at YMCA. But reality says young people don't abstain. Then what do? We preach condomize. We also preach being faithful, but young people, reality. So
Yeah.
I deal with the reality. So that's the Y Health program, where we teach young people about their health and also how to take care of themselves, hygiene. And then we have the Y Justice program that deals with more of the advocacy part. We are addressing young people that are at risk, to be against the law. So what we do is that we assist those who want to go. So we teach them. We make sure we give them our program so that they see whatever that they are doing is just for now, because at the end of the day you might be now one of the statistics or somewhere. So we want to avoid that. And then we also have a power space. So basically, a power space is a space where young people are able to express themselves, right? According to the YMCA philosophy. But with us, Ga-Rankuwa, we like, no, we can use this as a virtual space, because we want to reach out to all young people around the world. So now we used the power space in a virtual space where young people are able to do their dialogues and also get information through our social media platforms. So that's what we are doing.
Okay, thank you very much. So my takeaway from this conversation is that you have to know your rights and implement them responsibly. So, and that's from us. Thank you for viewing. Bye.
Peace.
Hi guys, welcome back. So we have a new guest and we are still on the theme of human rights and getting to know YMCA. So I am an advocate of the boy child. Please introduce yourself and tell us how you feeling.
Okay, first things first, I'll actually start with my name is Tabam Tembu. I work here at the YMCA. I am a TM facilitator. TM facilitator clearly meaning transformative masculinity. What we actually do in transformative masculinity is actually change the mindset, the toxic mindset to be specific, of a boy child, because we actually focus on a boy child. But then since we also go in schools, we actually try to make the topics to dwell with also with the chicks, right? So it also benefits both girls and boys when we do it.
Oh, okay. Nice. So toxic masculinity. Ooh, sakho. Mara re tla ba sharp. So has it ever influenced you in a way? Have you
Yo.
ever been there?
Okay, for a fact, what actually brought me here is because I actually participated in one of the sessions while I was still in school. So I actually did the TM sessions while I was still in school. While I was still in school, I was actually interested in what they do. I came to this very location, and then we did the
We
TM
can mention the
sessions.
location.
The YMCA, the hall,
Yeah.
straight up.
Yeah.
So yeah, we came here by the hall, and then we did sessions with Homolimo, who was our facilitator at that time. And then from then, I actually gained interest to which if I finished school, should I finish school, actually definitely coming to the YMCA. So that's what I actually did. I actually came to the YMCA as I finished my schooling. I volunteered for a year, and this is a year whereby you get what I mean.
I get that. I
So,
get
yeah.
that. So it seems like it has impacted your life very positively. So, and with Homilimo playing that role, how are you planning on? Maybe everybody has a mistake. On how are you planning on fixing his mistakes and trying to make it a more friendly place, because maybe somebody didn't enjoy it as you did back then. And how are you making the boy child today at school, when you visit the school, to say, oh, actually I want to be an advocate and speak to other young men about toxic masculinity and protect the women around me and also protect the males around me too?
Okay, based on that, I'll say he actually played a huge role. I wouldn't say the mistakes that he did. On my side, it's more like not actually becoming the same person he was and doing what he actually did. But then it's more like upgrading in a better perspective. You see, to do better in what he actually did. So it's in terms of what how people are actually introduced to the YMCA. I actually checked that culture, so it's one thing that they have to change. It's more like they're actually not used to the facilities and what we actually do around here. So maybe that's the reason why they don't actually come. But then currently we're in the state whereby we actually give them a lot of interest, to which they actually see there's a lot of things that we actually do, not just TM sessions. There are a lot of sessions that actually happen here, and also the things that they do here. So extracurriculum classes, to be specific.
That's nice. So our theme for this month is human rights, right? So how do we implement human rights within the TM facilitating?
Okay, implementing that, what we usually do is actually we work with a lot of school children, so they're actually in school. So it's more like a program of us actually informing them about the rights. So we actually live with people, but they don't actually know the rights and how they actually implement it. So it's more like we actually make workshops. They come here, we make dialogues, we talk about them. Do they actually understand what is their rights? How do they use their rights, and how are they bestly used? And they also have responsibilities. One thing that people always preach is people have rights but also responsibilities. So we're actually trying to put them in a space whereby they can actually understand both the things that they have to do, which is knowing the rights, and also the rights that comes with the responsibilities.
Yes.
So that's what I
what
can say.
with your role in the YMCA, I think if not, I think I should mention it, that you have become perhaps a role model to somebody out there, and you have become a set of an example to a boy child out there who is going through a lot, who is like, I want to fix my life. Or even a girl child that you have spoken to about the toxic masculinity, whereas maybe she dealt with a male figure who was very toxic and using his masculinity to overpower her. But now her or him experiencing you, learning through you, it's you playing a role of being a role model. So how do you filter out things that you do not want other people to grab as influence from those things?
Okay, so what I usually do, especially when I go to schools, I actually use myself as a success story. In terms of what? I usually admit of the things that I used to do in schools. I used to be bad, I admit that. But as I came to the YMCA and did the TM sessions, that's how I was rehabilitated. So as I was rehabilitated, I actually saw change within myself as I did the self-introspection, to which, should I actually do this and then it actually has impact upon me, since I'm able to do it again, I can actually make it to have impact upon somebody else. That's the reason why every time when I actually have to tell my story, I actually become open with it. So that maybe the person listening might actually relate. As they relate, they can also believe in the process of what? In the process of change. What I also tell them is that, we can be bad in schools and do all this bad stuff due to peer pressure, right? But we're all not perfect. But then there comes a time whereby we actually can change. It's in terms of what? Us having to actually maintain that, having to have discipline. So once we actually install discipline upon ourselves, that's when we actually see like we can actually make a difference. How did I actually see that upon myself? I actually changed from that, and then even if I speak to children, like as I pass along the streets, it's actually good to actually be greeted by a school student and be like, yo, hi Tab, how you doing? But then you're not familiar with the person. But then you have to actually make sure that you actually can conversate with them and make them feel like, oh, I know you, this is the work that you do. And then you can actually invite them in the things that we do here. So that's another way of me actually inviting people to the YMCA. They actually see on how I do things, and then I just tell them, yo guys, come to the YMCA, you're going to see a lot of things that you're going to see. And a lot of things that you can do.
You seem like a very natural in this, and it's very wonderful. It's a very unique thing to do. It's not for everyone, because not everyone, like myself, I get just to go to somebody else and say, hi, this is what's up, right? But once because I'm more of initiate a conversation for me to speak to you. I'm not a person of coming to people and initiating a conversation.
More like an introvert.
Yeah, I'm that. I'm that. I take it with everything in it, and having people like you guys, it's like having a safe space for people like me, or people who are out there and going through a lot and saying, I have no one to speak to. I have no one to have such conversation about. So we have a problem, especially, let me focus on the center space of where YMCA Ga-Rankuwa is. Let's talk about Ga-Rankuwa. We have a problem of young men being out there and not having access to many things that they could have known about, which are there in the YMCA. And how do we reach out to them so that they can also know, hore, I have a right to learn art. I have a right to the internet cafe that is there in the digital cafe, whereas I can do all these assignments that I thought, no, I don't have help. Kuntlungi, they don't have money. When I ask for data, they like arna chelet.
Okay, in my instance, I can say it in terms of what? Currently, we're actually using this method of what? Word of mouth. You check. So we just communicate with a person, tell them the interest that they can find in the YMCA, and then that's it. But then in broadenizing that, we also use like the safe space, which is like social media. But then not everybody goes on social media, and not everybody can read that. So it's in terms of what? I think also posters should be created talking about the events that are actually done in the YMCA. So we actually have to broadenize how we actually do things. To actually influence it in terms of what? Creating cultures to a point where it's like maybe in weekends, there comes a time whereby we come and have such sessions. We talk about a lot of things. And the one thing I also liked about the YMCA is that there's a lot of youth involved. And for a lot of youth to actually come here is through the youth that's already in there. Because it's in terms of what? That's how they can able to communicate and actually reach out. Because I feel like reason why they actually appointed more like the youth to be specific is because us as the youth are the ones who are actually able to communicate to the rest. Right? So I actually see us as ambassadors to actually go and call out the word. Spread the word in terms of what? The good things that are done here. And I won't lie, a lot of things can be changed, to which I actually see it from myself. Right? So if such change can be seen from me and how people actually view it out there, I actually believe that a lot of people who can actually come here can also change.
Okay. So do you think females have toxic masculinity?
Okay, when it actually comes to females, They do have. It's not that they don't have. But the reason why we actually focused on the boy child is because that's one of the high risks that we have in our community. We have a lot of boy children actually doing a lot of substances like smoking. There's a lot of gangs that they create. So there's a lot of like
Do we have gangs?
they okay in terms of what okay, not to be specifically call them gangs or something, but then they tribe themselves and then they do what vandalism around the block. You get that? So it's in terms of what distracting that.
Distracting the movement.
The movement is in terms of what it's actually spreading the good change within, not the bad things that they do. When they hear, it's more like how I was rehabilitated. When I actually speak about me actually being rehabilitated, I actually speak in terms of what I had a substance issue, which was what I had a smoking issue. But then since I came here, they actually told me on how to actually live, how to actually do things, and how can I actually teach on people how I actually learn to do that. Because it's not something that can actually happen in an instant.
Yes.
You can tell yourself, but then actions speak louder than words. We all believe in that. But then as you come here, you find a group. On those groups, you have people to which you can relate with. As you relate with them, that's where you can check with, say, okay, as I relate with that guy, that's where you can network. As you're networking with the person, what is it that we can do? Okay, you start your own group and then you start calling out people. So that's the better way of actually us, like, to call more people to come here, to tell more people that there's a lot of things that they can do to the YMCA, and the YMCA actually offers a lot. One thing I can say.
Yeah, that's nice. That's very unique. So one question that I ask my guest is, what is your favorite human right? Right.
Yo.
Mine is freedom of expression and freedom of speech, because I dealt with myself being socially having social anxiety. I still deal with it, but it's subsidized now, and to a point where in high school I actually started online schooling. My parents took me for online schooling, and it created more. It didn't really solve the problem, but it created more of the problem because I couldn't engage with everyone. Most of the time I was in the house studying, and it becomes a problem. But with spaces like this where you can express yourself in different ways and be able to voice out yourself, which is why my favorite human right is freedom of expression.
My favorite human rights of all time is the right to education. And why do I actually put that one as the key? Because as a facilitator, I go to schools, right? And I always tell my kids in terms of what? Guys, we're all learning. We all have different journeys that we're going through. But at the end of the day, we actually need to finish our school, do our matric. There's no work that you can get right now without you actually handing out your matric certificate. So I actually tell them that, people better be educated. Better be educated so that you can also open opportunities for yourself. With that use of the matric certificate, you can also open businesses for yourself. So you can do a lot of things. So that's why I actually like the one for you have the right to education, because with that education, it can actually benefit you in the long run. That's it for me.
That's very nice. I think my takeaway from you is that the YMCA and you being a TM facilitator is that you are an advocate for somebody who does not have a voice of voicing out what they are going through, but through you we can actually have one voice and
Exactly.
be able to express ourselves. Maybe you can throw your last 2 cents, or maybe 50 cents, or
Okay.
maybe get 2 ranta, or it's 1,000,
Uh-huh.
whatever. But yeah, throw your last words.
Okay, so my last words is in terms of what? Coming to the YMCA has been an honor. I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot of skills. I've actually been able to actually open up to people. Okay, I was open to people. I did communicate with people, but they
Yeah.
actually gave me a platform to which I can actually upgrade myself in terms of what? Public speaking. Yes, in terms of that too. And in terms of what? Me actually growing as an individual. I did grow from the YMCA. I can call myself a YMCA child. Yeah.
Shout out to that.
Shout out to that. So it's in terms of what? If people actually seek growth and knowledge, My words to them: just come to the YMCA. You'll get what you actually need.
You had it, guys. Come to YMCA. Thank you very much. It was nice having you.
It was nice coming here.
So which means next time when we call you, please do come.
I'll
Thank you.
be here. I work here.
Bye.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Power Space. We are still here with you guys, and we have another guest today, and that is Tlotleho. Please introduce yourself. Tell us your role in YMCA, what you do, and yeah, we'll take it from there.
Oh, hey guys. My name is Tlotleho, and basically what I do in the YMCA, I'm a life skills facilitator. So this is what I basically do. I spread word around self-awareness, anything about illnesses. I just basically go around schools in Ga-Rankuwa and inform kids about, health issues, maybe teach them a lot about confidence, communication skills and everything. That's what I basically do. And I'm basically trying to host some girl talk sessions, maybe during school holidays.
Okay.
So I'll be probably tapping into that. And yeah, that's basically me in general, like me being bubbly,
Okay.
Yeah, trying to reach out to girls and boys, Yeah.
Okay, so how are you planning on having these conversations with the girl child?
How am I planning?
Yeah.
I'm trying to team them up
Yeah.
and tell them that maybe they should just come to the YMCA and then our whole sessions. And then during the session, we just have icebreakers and some play games within, and like have an intense conversation or like make them share their past experiences, and share a lot, indulge into in-depth conversation with them.
Okay, but going into an in-depth conversation, how are you planning on making them feel
Comfortable.
at home and comfortable and being able to express themselves without worrying gore kamoso ke tla re ke tsamaya mo strateng and somebody else would say yeah ola walwala or ola o na le mathata a masolo.
On that, I think around YMCA we have a social worker. Maybe probably I will ask her or him to actually join us so that like I could just make them feel like free. If they don't feel like talking to me, that's the right person to talk to. And maybe some adults who are like older than me, like specifically women, maybe I'll try to like talk to them. Maybe I'll maybe get okay, session is also like I will need maybe two of you to just join me, and then if there's a topic that we want to talk about with these kids, so could you please help me to make them feel and talk with me, yeah, that's what, yeah.
Okay,
That's what I'll
so we are
possibly
in
do.
a theme of human rights, right?
Yeah.
And dealing with human rights, we have a discovery of us ladies violating the male rights in a defense of saying males violate our rights. So an example would be a female emotionally abusing a male figure. And in the word of where now you are more stronger than me, and using verbal abuse or emotional abuse in terms of um, instead of using the physical abuse, because re di defenda ka hore ke moshimane o strong wa bona? So how are we planning to teach the ladies hore as much as we want to be respected, let us also learn to respect the males?
Well, it's a matter of like trying to tell them that like you don't even have to just cloud yourself on this thing, Yahore, or you're putting yourself in a pedestal that just because you are female, you should talk whatever and however with the men. Like you should set some boundaries between like you and the other person, regardless of ke motho o moholo or ko monyane ke monna o yang. Like to just be like respectful and trying to learn how to talk, when, who, what. Trying to learn like different
The
personalities,
differences.
what you're talking of, what you're talking about, what can you approach, how you can approach that person. Yeah, I think that's how maybe I will try to tell them or teach them.
Okay.
Like maybe I'll just say we have maybe a lot of different types of people and personalities.
Yes.
So these are so many people you could talk about or talk to. They are like this way. Some people are sensitive. Some people like fire. They
Yeah.
like doing like things, and then they just do them, and then they just don't even like put your feelings into a matter into
Consideration, yeah.
consideration. Yeah. So yeah, I'll just try it and teach them about different personalities of people. Get
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I feel like you are also going to deal with different people,
Characters, yeah.
because we as females, we have different personalities, and we deal with 4 personalities in a month.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it has become an issue because um not really everyone, I would say 20% knows that we are dealing with that, and then the rest of the 80% is like just taking it horai ke personality yaka, this is who I am. But you also have to be able to define yourself within those personalities because of your hormones, because we're dealing with a lot of hormones than male figures.
More hormonal. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think it's becoming a problem because we are evolving and growing as people, and with us as females evolving, these emotions are expressing themselves too much,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
I find myself, like, I'm a very quiet person, Mara, there's that time of the month I'm very
When you're
loud,
on your
and I'm like,
period.
who's this? I'm like, who are you, baby girl? What are you doing?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's
yeah.
about being self-aware. So how are we like planning to make the girl child be aware of these things? I think it'd be good if we start from high school, where we teach the ladies, especially during the menstruation part, where
Period. Yeah, period.
we talk about the periods, and
Yeah,
say,
yeah, yeah.
"Hore,
At
during
this
your
time,
periods you can be the quietest person, but afterwards you
you
can
can
be
be
very
louder.
loud,
Yeah.
or before then, during your periods, you can be the loudest person or the moodiest person ever. O
Yeah,
kry-a
yeah.
furu, motho o happy, motshehare, o
Next thing, moody,
kwatile, go tlhakatlhakana. But so
Yeah.
how are we planning, like, to actually teach and make people aware hore we as female, we are very hormonal, and this is the things that we go through. Also, like, in terms of also teaching the male figures hore this is what females go through. So sometimes it's not her, but it is within her hore at the control and know hore this is what I'm going
Yeah,
through, and how
yeah.
do I communicate hore ish so
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I said, I will just try to do sessions, and tap into, like, maybe tell them a lot about this is what's happening in your body. Obviously, but this is how you should deal with it.
yeah
And the food that you eat,
yeah have an impact.
and the things that you should do, probably maybe keep your mind busy with something to calm your nerves down. Drink tea in the morning,
Yeah.
like, keep your nerves kind of like at ease when you're on that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
also, through my discovery is that we as ladies, especially in class, because kodikolong hanchi they prefer gore go nne le more females in class, right? But then it has become a problem because it getting maybe, let's say, in this certain month we are dealing with more dominant females,
Females, yeah.
right? And then they start trying to stand out. Honestly, especially we as ladies, tendency of being the spotlight, rata spotlight.
Too much being it
But
girls.
even being quiet, I will not say because quiet I don't like spotlight. I get rata spotlight. I want to be noticed. I get spacing. You guys should know me and know hore there's this certain lady who is there, and I already express those things, but it becomes a problem when teachers have to be has to teach because they also have to do their work,
Obviously,
but also they are dealing with humans and they have to nurture all these humans, but then you are dealing with like 30 children in class. And I think also ke taba ya hore, let's talk to these girl child and say hore, as much as you want to express yourself, as much as you want your
fly
rights
out, yeah,
to be known and respected,
Yeah.
le wena respecta
Others
the
as
rights
well.
tsa motho a emeng ko pela hao, and know your position in these spaces.
Yeah.
So my question exactly is like how do we deal with these personalities and say hore mara there's a difference between you
And
and
the
the
other
teacher,
person.
and there's a difference between you and your classmate who's sitting next to you, and you guys are going through those different emotions in class.
Well, I think on my side is just laying ground rules, you know, like telling them what you expect from them. And according to the schools, there's a code of conduct,
Yeah.
that you should adhere to. So, like laying ground rules and setting each and everyone on their places and boundaries. I think that's the best way because you're controlling your audience, you're controlling your class, you're managing those characters so that they couldn't even clash. You're just trying by all means so that they couldn't even clash. Even if they
Overpower
clash,
you.
you have to be the mediator
Yeah.
within like that clashing moment. So I guess that's how
You spoke about the code of conduct. And
Yeah,
I
in
learned
school.
about that since ke tswile ko sekolong. I didn't know
Why
gore
though?
ko sekolong go na le code of conduct. No, I'm being honest. And I was very shocked hore I stayed in this space for so long from my grade 1 until my grade 10, because after grade 10 I was online schooling, but from my grade 1 until 10 there was this thing which was supposed to put me down, put me in place, or uplift me. Maybe my parents wouldn't decide to make me an online scholar if we were aware of the code of conduct. So how are we telling the school, hore, ish, guys, there is this thing that you have to make these children aware, hore. What are the rules?
Yeah.
What are the grand rules, guys? Because I remember there was an incident of a child being sick at school. Ne? And then the teachers couldn't take this child to clinic because also we dealing with government schools who say we have clinics in school. Mara adi teng. If you physically go there, I think mara iteng mo pampiri. Right? So the teacher couldn't take the child to a clinic because if wa mo tseya and then ngwana tlhokofala mo strateng motsadi a re kwana boleileng ngwanaka.
Yeah.
So how do we make parents and these children hore ho na le molao o so just like ko mmerekong they when some things are there in between the silver lines, but then some things need to be very clear hore if we are so ho na di consequences tse so.
I think that role has a lot more to do with the principal. The principal in each and every school, and in schools we also have committees. So the disciplinary committee, like there's a bunch of teachers that make up that community, that committee. So I think they're responsible for tapping into like code of conduct, making sure like the kids are well behaved, and when such cases are health and then emergencies, they must be there. So like it's all in the hands of the principal basically. So he or she has to make it a point that maybe like per week there is a DC meeting. If there's an unruly child, there should be like such meetings and and days for doing those things.
Okay. So, YMCA has become a very safe space for many youth, teenagers, and it's it's very it's very nice to know hore there's a space out there. There's a space in a community like ours which um, helps these ladies and these males gore ba be, in a very safe space where they can express themselves and be free. Babe sharp. Yeah. And I think you guys play a huge role in that because kili youth nanga nka se bolele koko. Sorry. O tlo mpotsa hore ena ka had times ne ba motlapa and nna I can't stand club. Those things, and I think you guys are doing a very good job.
Thank
in,
you.
In that, it's very well known now. Kale, we didn't know her YMCA who a youth thing. Not the YMCA
I never knew about it too. Yeah,
The
Lina.
YMCA no, it's about youth, and if you go out there and ask about YMCA, then you know what a YMCA is a safe space.
Yeah.
And shout out to you guys for that.
Thank
And you guys are doing a very good job. So one last question is it's saying your favorite human right. Mine is freedom of expression and freedom of speech.
Oh,
Right. So what is your
my favorite right? The right to life, man.
right to life?
Yeah, and also the right to health.
Health.
Yeah, the right to health as everything. The right to a safe and secured health facility or health service. Yes.
But
Yeah,
do
got
we
it?
have that? do we have that? Do we actually have that?
I'm not sure. The right to.
I don't think. Okay, it's there in the books.
there, yeah,
but
but
I don't think it's really implemented.
it's not, because there's a lot of corruption in any department in anywhere in South Africa. So, but then I try my level best to go to the best clinics in Ga-Rankuwa. I think the best clinic in Ga-Rankuwa is in Zone 4. So I
But
think.
do we actually have to choose? Because I think it's a matter of not having to choose. Some things are not really worthy of being pointed out. But when I have to wake up, maybe get the mama goes on one and be able to hekelwala ke go clinic ke sa choose hore no nna nka se go clinic ya go zone 1 clinic ya go zone 1 e di cheap. I think it's kereng dilo tsa ba is they, to me, they don't sit very well with me. Because also it's a space where I'm supposed to feel clean, healthy, and very safe. But heke I don't really feel like it. Even like heke feel like at the same time. I can't even engage with people in such spaces because I'm like,
Yeah, but the thing like batho ba ba tlalang ka mo ba batlang ko tleliniking, and remember, and the staff nurses who are selected to work in that clinic. So you might probably find, or maybe by 5 or they 4 per day, and they should deal with how many patients?
they must
A
be
lot.
going through a lot.
Yeah, a lot. So I think it's it's an issue of how nurses approach to work with their patients, and the head nurse in the clinic, how he or she deals with the kind of issues, so that people could get that health, that service,
the quality service.
Yeah, the quality service. So,
but another thing that I've noticed in these public spaces is that also we as patients, we don't respect these ladies.
That's the thing.
We don't respect
and
these
we don't even
people.
have male nurses. You don't have much male nurses in
I think
clinics.
nearly stigma sakale. Now we do have males practicing it, but nearly stigma sakale. Oh, not necessarily one of those things. And I think it's one of the things that we have to fix and work on. Right. So I think you can say your last words about your work and how YMCA and stuff.
My last word is come guys to the YMCA, so that you can have the most safer space and the more fun you will have with us. The more sessions that we will have. Come and enjoy with us, and so that we can grow, we can build. we can like have a lot of impact in the youth and expand, man, and grow, experience, learn, and do a lot of logical thinking and critical thinking, within ourselves and within like younger people who are like under us, Yeah, so yeah. Come and enjoy and come and have fun.
Okay.
Let's just
Keyword: come and have fun. Thank
Yeah.
you very much for
Thank
coming.
you.
Till next time. Bye. Sharp.